So there's an interesting story about two evangelists, Billy Graham and Charles Templeton. Both men were gifted speakers and drew crowds in the thousands to their meetings. In fact, Charles Templeton had 91,000 people come out to hear him speak. But in 1948, both men were faced with different philosophical criticisms regarding the Bible, and Billy Graham responded after much prayer and said, "I don't know how to answer all the questions that the critics are asking me, but I'm going to choose to allow faith to go beyond my doubts, and I'm simply going to believe." Templeton, faced with these same questions, enrolled at Princeton Theological Seminary and less than a decade later declared himself an agnostic. In 1996, he wrote his memoir called Farewell to God, My Reasons for Rejecting the Christian Faith. Later in his 80s, in an interview about Jesus, Templeton responded and said he was the greatest human being who ever lived. As his voice began to shake and tears filled his eyes, he said, "I miss him." I think this story holds significant weight for me as a Christian because it addresses something at our core that I think, if we're honest, most of us are really intimidated by, and that's belief. You know, we admire the faith of individuals in overcoming impossible odds and circumstances, but when it comes to our own lives, we're often quick to dismiss belief in something greater than ourselves as just not being realistic. I mean, we feel foolish. How can I give an answer for faith in a God who is invisible from my sight? But yet, when you look at the complexity and the beauty of life, it seems that there's nothing but fingerprints of design in every aspect of the world that we live in. So what, in essence, is forced upon us is a choice of belief or unbelief. Jesus said in John 14, verse 6, that I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. In essence, what he's saying here is that no religion is the way, no religion is the truth, nor is it the life, not even the one that you're practicing. What gets you to God is not religion. It's a relationship with Jesus. Religion is helpful only to the extent that it serves this higher purpose. The way, the truth, and the life has never been about Christianity, about right and wrong, following all the rules, or even morality. It's always been and will always be about simply knowing Jesus. I love what Charles Spurgeon once said, in that we will never find happiness by looking at our prayers, our doings, or our feelings. It is who Jesus is, not who we are, that gives rest to the soul. I think back to 9/11, when churches across the country were packed with people seeking God in the face of tragedy. And we do this. We often turn to God when we feel like He is our last hope. But what ends up happening is we hoist our prayers towards heaven as if we were picking a lottery ticket. You know, hoping God hears us, hoping that we get an answer. When the fact is that God told us He would never leave us or forsake us. He's been there with you the entire time with arms wide open. The Bible says, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." He's calling you. It's His presence. The furiousness of His love towards you. His one desire is a relationship with you. So we all have the same questions. Why don't you ask God to reveal Himself to you? And He will.